All right, let's dive in. Today we're going to tackle something that gets a lot of hype and maybe a little bit of fear, retrograde planets. But we're going to look at it through the lens of Vedic astrology, which sees it as something totally different. It's about decoding what's called our soul's backlog. You know, those deep karmic patterns we're all here to figure out.
I mean, have you ever felt like that? Like you're just stuck in a loop, hitting replay on the exact same patterns? Maybe it's attracting the same kind of boss, job after job, or, finding yourself in the same relationship drama, just with a different person. It's that feeling, right? That you're stuck in a cycle you just can't seem to break.
But here's a thought. What if those super frustrating patterns aren't actually problems? What if they're invitations? Vedic astrology suggests exactly that. It's like the universe is giving us a cosmic call to stop trying to fix everything out there and instead to turn inward, to review, to reflect, and to kind of re-engineer things from the inside out.
Okay, so to really get that whole internal call thing, we first have to understand where a planet even gets its power. And here's the secret sauce. It's not a constant thing. Nope. A planet's strength totally depends on its relationship with the king of our solar system, the sun.
So, let's zoom in on what are called the superior planets. We're talking Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Now, superior doesn't mean they're better or anything. It's not a judgment call. It's actually just an astronomy term. It means their orbits are outside of Earth's, and that little fact gives them a really unique dance with the sun's power.
So, what's that influence actually like? Well, there's this brilliant analogy for it. Imagine you're at a party, right? And suddenly a huge A-list celebrity walks in. What happens? Instantly, the energy of the whole room just shifts. All eyes are on them. While the sun is that celebrity. When it's nearby, it completely commands all the attention.
And this really illustrates the two extremes perfectly. On one hand, when a planet gets way too close to the sun, we say it's combust. It's like its own voice, its own identity gets totally lost in the sun's overwhelming light. But when that same planet travels all the way to the opposite side of the sky from the sun, that's when it hits its peak power. It's totally free from the sun's influence and can act with complete 100% independence. And guess what happens at that exact moment of maximum freedom? You got it. That is precisely when it goes retrograde.
Now, you might think these periods of cosmic review are just random, but they're not at all. They actually happen on a very specific, very predictable schedule.
And what's so wild when you look at the numbers is just how common this all is. I mean, look at Saturn and Jupiter. They spend over 30% of the year in retrograde. This isn't some rare, scary event we need to brace for. It's a regular, totally normal part of the cosmic rhythm. In fact, it's super common to have these planets retrograde in your own birth chart.
This table breaks it down even more. You can see Saturn and Jupiter go retrograde every single year for about 4 to 4.5 months. Then you have Mercury, who's famous for its retrogrades, right? It has these shorter bursts, but it does it 3, sometimes 4 times a year. And then Venus and Mars, their retrogrades are less frequent, but still incredibly potent when they happen. Each planet really has its own unique timetable for this inner work.
Okay, so we've got the what and the when. But now we get to the real heart of it, the why. What does it truly mean on a deep karmic level when a planet appears to move backward?
This right here is the core metaphor. When a planet is retrograde, it's as if it's wearing a mask. Now that doesn't mean it's being sneaky or hiding something bad. It just means the energy isn't focused outward anymore, on getting things done in the world. Instead, that energy has turned completely inward, going super deep into the subconscious to work on stuff we can't even see on the surface.
You can think of this karmic energy as flowing in 3 different modes. First, you've got direct motion. That's like a river flowing forward, constantly expressing its energy out into the world. Then you have retrograde. That's when the river turns back on itself, creating this deep, still lake that's perfect for reflection. And finally, there's stationary, which is that super important pause, that moment of stillness right before the direction changes.
And this whole inward turn has a very specific purpose. It's designed to force us to finally confront our soul's backlog. Think of this like the really deep, hardened karmic patterns in our lives. They're like solid rock. You can't change them with just simple external actions. Nope. These require some serious inner engineering to resolve.
Okay, so this is all pretty deep stuff, right? But the big question is, how can we actually work with this energy instead of fighting it? Let's get practical.
This little chart gives us a fantastic roadmap. Let's take fiery Mars retrograde, for example. That's a time when anger and conflict can really flare up, and the suggestion here is to let go of eating meat. Or how about Mercury? To curb that earthy energy of jealousy or envy, you can try grounding yourself, like literally walking barefoot on the grass. And for Jupiter, where the imbalance is a lack of grace, the focus shifts to charity, specifically anadhanam, the beautiful practice of donating food. You see, each planet gives us a unique path to find our balance again.
All right, now we've arrived at what might be the most profound, mind-bending part of this whole thing. During a retrograde, something truly magical happens. A planet can actually start to behave like its greatest enemy. And in doing so, it turns what was a source of conflict into an incredible source of wisdom.
Okay, check this out. Mercury, the planet of communication, is typically considered an enemy of Mars, the planet of action. But when Mercury goes retrograde, it can take on these very Martian qualities, suddenly giving you the courage to actually act on all those ideas you just talk about. It's amazing. Or look at Venus. Retrograde Venus can start to behave like the sun, shifting your focus from trying to please others in relationships to illuminating your own self-worth. It's a complete, powerful reversal.
This whole idea of reversal, being a path to transformation, is captured so beautifully in the ancient story of Ratnakara. Now this guy, he was a robber, a murderer, a man so deep in negative karma that the sages told him he didn't even have the spiritual merit to speak the sacred name Rama.
But then a wise sage gave him a key, a workaround. He said, okay, you can't say Rama, but you can say Mara, which is literally Rama spelled backward. Now, Mara means death and destruction, something his karmic state was already totally aligned with, so he was given this reversed mantra to chant. And this is the transformative power of retrograde logic in action. As he sat there chanting Mara, 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 over and over and over again, the sound itself acoustically transformed into Rama, Rama, Rama. Through this simple act of reversal, he completely purified his karma and became the great sage Valmiki. The obstacle, when he just reversed it, became the path.
And that leaves us with a final question for our own inner work, for our own soul's backlog. What are those patterns in your life, the ones that keep showing up? And what could happen if, instead of fighting them, you found a way to intentionally reverse them? Because that might just be the key to unlocking your greatest transformation. Thanks so much for joining me.